Today you'll be learning how to conduct a stimulus preference assessment. This is a procedure used to determine the stimuli that a person prefers. Part A will assist you in understanding what to do prior to a preference assessment. Begin by selecting 8 items for the assessment. These items could include edibles, drinks, sensory items, or activities. Next, assign the items numbers 1 through 8. Write the names of the items on the datasheet provided to you. Have the client sit on one side of the desk or table, and you will sit on the other side, across from the client. Place the items to be assessed in a spot where they are readily available to you, but that the participant cannot easily access them. Here's an example of what this will look like. Part B will help you in understanding how to conduct a preference assessment. On each trial, select 2 items as prescribed on the datasheet. Below is an example.
Pick one.
I place it. We didn't have to do the matches. Hiya! Oh, hiya!
My turn.
Choose one. Place 2 items about 1 foot in front of the client and 1 foot apart from each other. This is approximately the vertical length of a piece of paper, which measures 11 by 8.5 inches, or the size of a ruler, which is slightly shorter than the vertical length of a piece of paper. The picture below is not scaled proportionally. Notice how the stimuli is in between you and the client, in the middle of the table.
Pick one.
My place it.
Choose one. To begin the assessment, you need to verbally prompt the client to select an item. You can do this by saying something like, "Please select an item." If the participant selects one item, remove the unselected item immediately before collecting data. Here is a picture of what this will look like. The key here is to remove the unselected item from the table before recording data.
Pick one.
嘿呀，嚯哈！
Thank you.
Choose one. Allow the participant access to the selected item for 3 to 5 seconds, or until the item is chewed and swallowed. Record the participant's selection by circling the appropriate number on the datasheet and write the name of that item in the Item Selected column. Below is an example. If the participant does not select either item within 5 seconds, for example, 1 1000, 2 1000, 3 1000, 4 1000, 5 1000, of you delivering the verbal prompt, then record NR for no response and move to the next trial. Below is an example. Here's a hint. After you deliver the verbal prompt, to begin the trial, begin to count to 5 in your head.
Pick one.
Nice job, right?
Pick one.
Choose one. You might find that your client will attempt to take both items at once, or perhaps an item not placed on the table by you. In cases such like this, try to gently block one or both of their hands. If the client does take both items, do not record data on that trial, but represent the same items again. See the following example. Consumer attempts to select 2 items at once, or an item you did not present. Here's a hint. Block their hands by reaching your hands towards the consumer's hands to stop them. Continue in this manner until all trials have been completed.
Pick one. Pick one. My turn.
Choose one. Choose one. Choose one. Part C will help you understand scoring the data and interpreting outcomes. First, start with the first item. Second, count up the number of times that item was presented. Now, count up the number of times that item was selected. Next, divide the number of times that item was selected by the number of times that item was presented. Then multiply by 100 to obtain a percentage. Follow steps 1 through 5 for all of the items used in the assessment. High preference items, items you would use to teach the client new skills, are those selected at 80% or greater of trials. Moderate preference items are those selected on 50 to 79% of trials. Low preference items are those selected on less than 50% of the trials. For example, if you see a pretzel presented 4 times, and selected 4 times, four divided by 4 equals 1. Multiplied by 100 and you get 100%. High preference items are items that are selected on 80% or greater of trials. I would use this item to teach a client a new skill since it was selected on 100% of trials. Another example, if you see a gummy bear presented 3 times, and selected 1 time, one divided by 3 equals 0.33. Multiplied by 100, you get 33%. Low preference items are items that are selected on 50% or less of trials. I would not use this item to teach a client a new skill, since it was selected on about 33% of trials.